Right. Hello, everybody. So I'd like to do this call and a video here just to introduce me and my brother's new company. Something that we've wanted to do for a long time, but haven't really had the resources to do. But with lockdown being in place, it's allowed for both of us to have some time to develop some of the stuff we wanted to do, create the company, and now that it's up and running, um, we'd like to share a bit more of it with you. Um, I'm Sean Breen. I'm the elder brother, one of the creators of this, and sitting beside me is my little brother. Let him introduce himself.
I'm Chris Breen. I'm obviously the little brother here.
I'm not sure you're little, but he's a younger brother anyway. So basically, a little bit of a background to me and Chris. So me and Chris have been involved in sports our entire life, mostly through swimming and American football, but other sports, karate, golf, normal soccer, football, for those of you that are American football fans. And really, we've got a wealth of experience in coaching, a lot of friends and family that are involved in different sides of sports. And so we've decided to create this company to basically give technical advice and technical analysis to the different sports and to athletes and coaches. So what we've done is I'll just take this up here. So just share the screen. So this is our new company, Technical Sports Services. So it started up this month. We have everything in place to go. And really, to start with, it will be basically a YouTube channel for everything to start with, purely because of the conditions that we're in just now. Hopefully, I'll be able to give some technical videos a go online so that everyone can see them, and they'll be free for everyone to use and do with what they please. So what are we going to do? So as Technical Sports Services, as I say, we're looking to do tutorial videos for a variety of sports. Not only have we got me and Chris involved in swimming and American football, but there are other coaches we've approached to do other sports, which hoping over time will just continue to grow. Providing coaching or teacher cover, again, with myself and Chris both qualified and multiple people we know qualified. We can provide coaching or teaching cover where appropriate. Technical stroke breakdown and race analysis reports. That's really for swimming. I'll let Chris go through that with you later because he's the one that's developed the actual sheets and program for it. Whereas I basically just I would do the analysis on site basically. Deliver sessions for clubs as a guest speaker. Again, between me and Chris, we're near on 25, 26 years of coaching experience. We've both been to national level. I've been to coaching. I've coached up to the British national level. So we may be able to deliver sessions to smaller, younger clubs that potentially want a bit of insight into what these national level swimmers go through or get as technical advice. Specific core movements for land training. We have a guy that's got a degree in sports science that was developing something for us. So he will start off by doing some videos online for our channel, and we'll potentially roll him out once the lockdown's over. We'll potentially roll him out to places to take specific sessions. Sports seminars from experienced athletes. Again, having been involved with sports for so long, we know a fair few of them. Hoping to get a few on board to come and do some online talks. Sports technique camps and clinics. Again, if we can, eventually we'll want to come out, do sessions and camps with different groups, potentially all over the country. not just where we are from in Aberdeen. Sports expertise in physiology, strength and conditioning. Again, that's the same person that's doing the movements for land training. We'll ask them to do some things in that. Qualified coaches across different sports. Again, me and Chris are both qualified in swimming and American football, but there will be other coaches that are qualified in different sports. A coach, teacher, mentoring program. One of the things that at the club I coach at the moment, I put a lot of time into over the years, and it's reaped massive benefits for our young club. So I'm hoping that if anyone wishes to do this, then we can supply that. Then the last one's game film analysis and reports, which is, again, something that Chris will talk you through. But again, it's mostly at the moment for American football, taking the games and breaking them down into manageable chunks that coaches and athletes can use. So our delivery basically is we've had folk already come and ask if they could be able to deliver sessions on our behalf. Yes, absolutely. Any individual who's taken the session will be entitled to 75% of the fee, no matter if it's cover for a session or delivering a session to a whole club. The other 25% will go to the company to support future investments and potential sponsorship of athletes. Now, that in particular is one thing that we're really looking to do. So, really, we're looking to gain funds to sponsor athletes, probably in Scotland, to be honest with you, but potentially in the UK over time. Give some people a bit of financial help to get into their sport, go to a higher level. Any individuals must make sure they're all certification and qualifications are up to date for themselves. UKCC teacher coaching, for example, and provide evidence before conducting the session. Obviously, that'll be us that checks that. A specific level can be asked for by the club wanting cover. If any individual wishes to post a video on our YouTube channel, must clarify the content and supply the video to me or Chris for editing. Basically, anyone can do this. If you want to deliver something on a specific sport and you feel like our channel is a good place to do it and get awareness for it, then let us know. Send us a video and we can edit and put it online. And then company liability insurance is something that we've got. Costs. So this is just a breakdown of what we're looking for our costs to be. So obviously, for instance, for a session leading a whole club of swimmers, developing fly, for instance, or coaching cover. So obviously coaching cover, coaches are a fair bit of money anyway, but for coaching cover, we can come out for a specific rate shown. These will all go up on our Facebook page and potentially website when it comes. Race breakdown reports, again, these are things that Chris will take you through, and basically there'll be reports that are generated for the coach or athlete to use, and they will basically make it easier for the coach or athlete to break down their swim. Game film analysis, again, that's going to be per client request, because some clients might want a quarter, some clients might want the whole offense, the whole defense, the whole game. So we'll take that bit by bit. So that's basically what we're going to do. All right. So I'm going to just pop across to Chris now. So he's going to take you through just two examples of what we've got just now. So we've got a test sheet for the analysis of swimming that Chris will take you through, and then we've got a test sheet for analysis of American football teams. So these basically show you the breakdown of what you're wanting to do. So I'll just pass Chris on. Chris, I'll just go through to swimming test one first. So just tell me when you need to go down. Okay, so this is our test report. So I'll let Chris take it through.
Okay, so basically, we've used kind of the examples of swimming and American football for these. It's just kind of a demonstration of the kind of things you could be looking for especially more high-level sport, they tend to take more of an in-depth look into sort of the actual analysis of things, or data analysis. It's become a big part of everything these people do. So I wanted to basically provide the opportunity for people to get this information, because it's extremely time consuming to do as well. So, be able, they could feed in the raw data and be able to get a full breakdown analyzing what happens, whether it be per race or, for a specific stroke. It would all kind of depend on what, the particular client was looking for. We'd be able to provide. So if you just want to run through it, I'll kind of go through page by page. So basically, this is a raw data collection. So in this specific example, we're looking at the different backstroke events. We're looking at the stroke count, the time, how many meters were done underwater, and sort of how many meters are achieved per stroke over the different distance of events. So, for example, I'm sure it's something that many swimming coaches have encountered. They might have a swimmer that is exceedingly well in 50 and 100s, and kind of seems to drop off in the 200. And okay, time can maybe demonstrate in one element why, maybe they're not, going out as hard as they possibly could, for example. But one way to look at this with this kind of data is you can actually, analyze exactly where it is that the time's fallen off, or what's being done differently that's causing the different results. So what we're able to do is take this raw data and be able to sort of provide it in a visual format that makes it easier to go through. So if you just go down. So, for example, you can start by looking at something such as a stroke count per the 25 meters. Now, over you see in an example here, maybe it's, 10 strokes in the opening 25, 50, 11 strokes in the opening 25, 100. But there's maybe a significant drop off at the 200, showing sort of the the less attacking nature that the swimmer's kind of approaching the event with. It also allows you to kind of see the increase in stroke rate per length over the event, and kind of identify where a lot of time and energy is being lost. Just go down. Again, the fairly straightforward example, your time per 25, it just again shows where time's starting to drop off, perhaps. Again, where perhaps time's picking up towards the end of an event, sort of saving fuel in the tank for the way home. In this example, it's kind of fairly consistent, but you might get the data might show that a particular swimmer is saving a lot left for the last length. I'm sure another common thing a lot of coaches have seen, and it just kind of shows the kind of difference in where maybe energy is being saved and time's being lost in other places. Again, if you just carry on. Again, sort of you're underwater per 25. Again, you can, in this example, you can see the definitive drop off as the event goes on, and then the sort of increase towards the end of a race. Again, perhaps signifying sort of saving a lot left in the tank, but also, using this, you can kind of understand, where time's possibly being lost, the swimmers dropping off their underwater work. Maybe shows that area of training you need to work on, ensuring that distance underwater stays consistent in every length of every event, regardless of the way through. Just carry on again. Again, using the underwater phase and the stroke count, you can get an idea of your meters per stroke per 25. Again, it kind of shows where that sort of tightening up occurs, or, again, when perhaps there's a particular event that a swimmer's maybe relaxed a little too much on at the start rather than sort of going after it. Also identifying that area when, a swimmer tightens up, perhaps they see a massive spike in the stroke count in the third 50 of a 200 or the third length of 100. And sort of when you combine that with the distance underwater, maybe it's because the drop-off's so big, or it could just be that sort of tightening up and it's maybe improving on that area of the event that needs to be focused and training.
So just from this point of view, guys, like obviously any good swimming coach will tell you it's about the process goals, and obviously they're the most important. But this stuff, it, for athletes, it doesn't really get discussed an awful lot. It is very hard as a coach to watch this on the day, try and do this on the day, and then feed it back to the swimmers. So basically, this would allow the swimmers and the coaches to focus on the process goals. We would come along, we'd say a swimmer swimming in the North District finals, and they've done a certain swim and they want to know how to improve it for the nationals a month later. We'd come along, we'd watch that race, we'd do the analysis on the race, we'd send the report, and then the coach and athlete can then discuss that report from there. They wouldn't be needing to think about that on the day. They can just think about the process goals they have and watch the race and not have to worry about this stuff. And then this stuff can be put together by us and then delivered to the coach or athlete there. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing. And again, Chris is right there. If you go to the highest level, so I've been involved with the Scottish swimming national squads before, and these guys get this stuff on a decent basis. But for local clubs, this just doesn't happen because you just don't have the time. If you're at a gala, you maybe got 30 kids to look after, and doing this for every kid is just impossible. So it's something that we hopefully help a lot of kids at the lower level that potentially don't think about this stuff. So the second one is around American football. So this one is way more in depth. This one's a test report for a specific game that Chris has taken, and I'll let him run you through it again, bit by bit.
Okay, just again, this is based off an example for obvious reasons. I won't discuss who was involved in the example. I've just managed, I've utilized game film available to me to do it, and it's kind of looking specifically at defense. Again, within the sport of American football in the UK, there's obviously different levels. There's different commitments to the game, but I've been involved in film analysis and data analysis from that film for as long as I've been involved. I find it an invaluable tool. But again, much like the swimming side of things, it's time consuming, and a lot of coaches and clubs simply don't have the time to do it. This obviously allows them to pass on to that kind of responsibility to us. And we could produce a report, entirely dependent on what you're looking for. It might be a specific, situation you want to know. It might just be a general overview. It completely depends on what the particular client want to know. So if we just quickly run through, I'll just kind of talk through again. Your first sort of 4 pages are just each quarter, for example, by play, sort of identifying what the opponent's offense did and how the scouted defense kind of handled it and what they did, the front, the coverage, any blitzes they ran, and how successful the plays were against them. Because if you're a team looking for information on an opposing defense, you want to know how to exploit it. If you just kind of carry through, that's just quarter 1. Then there's 2, 3, and 4. From that day, you take some very base information. So how often the opponents passed and they ran the ball in each quarter, their success rate. Now, again, I've based this on my own success rate here. So, for example, a rush over 3 yards is considered successful. A completed pass is considered successful. Now, it can vary. You might have a pass that goes for 0 yards and you don't deem that as successful. It entirely depends on what you want. I can make it happen. And it just kind of allows you to see, again, in this particular example, the opponent were extremely successful passing the ball, not so much so running the ball. It was kind of a 50-50 split. So it kind of gives you more of an understanding of the area you should probably be looking to attack the defense on. And again, given a full understanding of, the yards and the turnovers and the scores, etc. Just carry on to the next page. So again, it's just another way of showing just that quarter by quarter split of the run pass, and how I've kind of described this here from the particular game. You see that the team were fairly committed to running the ball. It was slightly more runs in the first two quarters. That began to change, but it was still quite balanced in the third. But by that point of the game, the lead started to get stretched for the defending team, and therefore the opponent switched to a much more pass-heavy attack in the fourth quarter, and that's kind of where you see that increase. Again, it allows you to see, if you're particularly looking at the defense here, if they've made any adjustments to what's going on. I mean, if you wanted to know what the specific game situation was at the time of the change, then that's something that could be included in the report. Carry on. Again, just a simple breakdown. Yards, pass yards, rush yards. Again, allows you to understand, where the wins were, where the losses were, and you can see sort of there's a 2.54 pass yards for every one rush yard, which obviously with the increased amount of passes gave increased success as well. This is where it kind of starts to get a little bit exciting for what people are looking for. This is this figure shows a full breakdown of the entire game of what the opponents did. So down the left side, you've got the number of times they use different fronts, different coverages, different blitzes. And it starts to paint the picture. I mean, you can see here for the vast majority of the time, they used the same front, the same coverage with zero blitz behind it. From your standpoint, obviously, that means you can kind of look to plan your game around that, because that's what they're going to run the majority of the time. Just carry on. Again, the coverage, although there was a full breakdown, the one above this purely looks at the coverage side of things. And again, as you can see, even though they maybe added in a few more fronts or a couple more blitzes, in a general overview, the vast majority of the game was the same coverage. Again, if you're able to see that as a coach, you know what it is you're going to be looking for, and you know what it is that you're going to attack them in based on whatever it is they're showing. You can just carry on. This is a full sort of breakdown on what they do by down and distance. Again, it's able to find any patterns in what guys do. If in particular on third downs, they like to switch it up and go to a complete different coverage. In this case, you don't see that. However, what you do see is in these sort of first and short sort of goal-to-go situations, there's a distinct change in coverage, and there's a distinct change in what they do with blitzing. And again, that allows you to be prepared for that when you get into those situations and take advantage of it. And again, you can see how often they do it. And then just a further breakdown on what they do by down and distance. Again, it gives just a clearer view of what you expect. You might be sort of less prepared for first and over 10. But again, you see realistically they only run two options. In first and 10, although they've run four different options throughout the game, is predominantly the same one they use: front, coverage, blitz, package. So more often than not, you're able to plan for that. You're able to foresee what's coming. Again, sort of that first and short, first and goal situation, as I say, there was kind of a distinct change up of what they do. And again, that's an adjustment that you'll already be aware of and you'll already plan for the game. Again, second and 10, and kind of that predominant switch into what they do, the same front. There, we carry on. Again, just looking at the rest of them, you've got your second and short, your third and long, your third and short. I've not included the fourth down in that one because there was only two plays and they ran the same thing, so you just get a full 100% pie chart, which doesn't help. It just kind of allows you to break down by each situation. I know a lot of coaches take great pride in having everything prepared, and this kind of allows you to see in a picture layout format, as well as your numbers, what you expect, when you're expecting it, and basically it allows you to plan how you're going to beat it, and gives you a better chance to execute on the day. If you know that you only have to go back and practice the same sort of 10 plays for the game because they're only going to use one coverage, then you're able to not waste as much time preparing for other things. And also allows you to introduce a few kind of changes that would be able to sort of attack the weaknesses in whatever defense it is. Now, with this example, obviously I've analysed the film myself. However, if you're more comfortable, these reports can still be produced off the data that you send. We could give you the sheets that would allow you to input the raw data, and you could give it to myself, and I'd be able to analyze it for you. And it's just kind of a more in-depth look. It's a more of a professional approach in being able to sort of look at your opponents in a different way and take advantage of what they give you. Again, just a brief summary, just kind of overlooks everything that's kind of shown in the report. And just in this case, I've identified, for example, what it is that you would probably be looking to attack this team's defense with. And again, the same would be done for if you were looking at the offense or whatever, just sort of an understanding of what it is you to do to take advantage of what it is that they're giving you.
I think one of the biggest things there is that we're not expecting teams to want this on a weekly basis, but for some of the top teams that are potentially haven't beat their rivals in a few years or are coming up for a bowl game or an important game in their season, then this could give you that edge. It certainly gave us an edge when we played on numerous occasions. We were able to know exactly what the other team was doing at certain times and take advantage of that. And really, I think there's a lot of teams that could potentially use this very well to their advantage to, as I say, beat local opponents or people they've not beat before that they've run close. So it's something that we kind of hope people will use and as Chris said there, Chris can either do the analysis or you can do the analysis and send us the data, and then he will input it. So it's on a quick report, and you can just use that as a tool for doing your scouting before the game and stuff like this. So that's just kind of a quick overview of what we are looking to do with this company over the next while. Because of the situation just now, it is quite difficult. Most of our stuff will be online and through YouTube. Hopefully videos will go up for the next week to start the ball rolling. But really, over the long term, we want to be able to provide a service to a lot of different people. And as I said, really the aim of it is to then use the financial side to supply athletes with decent sponsorship deals or small sponsorship deals for many people across different sports that'll hopefully help them potentially get to the next level. So basically that's what we've got just now. This has been the launch. So we'll look out for our stuff online, and you can hit us up if you have any questions or if you would like to get involved at all. So Chris, have you got anything else you'd like to add?
Just that if with the reports, obviously we've used swimming and American football as an example, but depending on the data you're looking for, it can be used for any sport. So don't feel that you're just limited to those two options. As long as you're able to tell me the kind of data you want into it, I can make it happen.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. As I say, I hope you can use this service and it helps you out. Thank you.